black cats got Dave N. The white hats, they got Doug. The Google search engine has it.
Welcome to another edition of Weird Leads. Okay, so we've been going through some of the weird leads that we receive here at Internet Marketing Ninjas, and the latest weird lead is...
We used to regularly show up mid-first page for organic search results. Now our site appears to be blacklisted. It looks like we suddenly have thousands of bad links directed to our site. Can you help us fix this and get back onto the first page? We write our own content, nothing copy-pasted. We don't spam keywords. We follow as best as we can Google's guidelines for good content. We optimize our images, price competitively, provide personal customer service. We've been around for over 15 years. The main issue is that it seems like we've been penalized for something, and we'd like to get it fixed. Thank you. Our budget is between $50 and $250.
Wait, can you repeat that budget?
Our budget is between $50 and $250.
Oh my God! All right, so
where do we start?
Well, let's before we even get to the budget, because maybe it can be done. Maybe not by me, but by you. Maybe it won't even cost you $50 to $250. Maybe you can do it yourself. So, a 15-year-old website, and this is your budget after getting penalized by Google. I guess, like, hey, let's think about this. All right, so the reason why I laugh is because I wish it was a $50 to a $250 total. In fact, you know, there are those solutions out there. If you go to Google and search Google penalty removal, that's probably a good one. You'll come up with paid ads, and you'll come up with some tools that are incredibly cheap. You'll come up with services where they'll guarantee that if you have a penalty, that they'll get it removed. They'll do it by removing all of your backlinks.
I still don't think they cost $50, even those services.
Yeah, there's some cheap ones out there, and in a sense they work. They will get your penalty removed, but they do it by removing all of your backlinks. So it's like, you know, Google will forgive anyone with no backlinks. They will, and so people can guarantee their service. We guarantee we'll get the penalty removed, and they sure will. You'll wonder, when is my traffic going to increase? You're like, I got the penalty removed, but I'm still flatline down here. What's up? So, you know, you've been penalized, and you know you suddenly have thousands of bad backlinks. Maybe it's a company that just doesn't. Maybe there's an evil competitor. That's always, you know, on people's minds. Like, I didn't build those. They're evil competitors, and everyone is going to get scraper stuff anyways. If you were once on the first page of Google for any search phrase, you've been scraped a million times on other web pages across the web. And usually that's okay. Usually it's not going to hurt you. It happens to everyone. It happens to me. It happens to you. It happens to him. It happens to Ann.
All the time.
And it very, very, very rarely causes any kind of problem. It's just, Google doesn't count it. So you've gotten a whole bunch of bad backlinks, whether, you know, a rogue employee did it, or a competitor did it, or just scrapers did it, or just it happens. Who knows? But now, how do you solve it? So you realize you've been hit by a penalty. You need to. There's a couple things. You need to go into Google and download all your backlinks from Google. And if you've been around for 15 years, you may have lots of backlinks in there, and you have to weed through all the spam. And you have to first, you have to separate all those URLs and which ones are no followed, because you don't have to worry about those, and which ones are dead links. You don't have to worry about those, or the pages are gone, or the link's no longer there. Or, you know, first, and then you got to separate and, all right, which links are actually live and there, and you got to go through what may be thousands of links, and you got to look for hundreds of patterns of, you know, what are the bad links and what are the good links, and physically go to, you know, almost all of them and think about each one and make a list of all the links that you're going to disavow. It's several hours and several tools. We do have a free tool on Internet Marketing Ninjas. It's the what do we call it? The crack backlink analysis tool for doing disavows. We call it the crack tool because once you use it, you may become addicted to it. If you're doing lots of disavows like me, I'm addicted to the crack tool. But I'm also addicted to the other 25 private tools that we have to analyze the backlinks as well. But at least I've given away one free tool out there. It can help you analyze some of the patterns. You know, it'll help you analyze 100 patterns. Normally I'm looking at 600 different types of patterns and other apps beyond there. But you're going to have to make a big list, and then you're going to have to upload it to Google. And I assume this isn't algorithmic if it's otherwise, you have a message in Webmaster Console, which would be the first thing to check. But in any case, the work comes in analyzing all those links. Now, I do a lot of them, almost all of them myself from scratch. There are some that I review, but literally almost every one is done personally by me, by hand. And it's a lot of work, and I have lots of tools to help me analyze the links, and it's a lot of work. And like I said, like some people can go in and just be like, we'll just remove everything, and that's not good because you're not going to rank again. It's like you're starting 15 years ago with no backlinks. In fact, you're a 15-year-old website with no backlinks, which probably isn't a good signal either. So ideally, you want to keep the good links and disavow the bad ones, and you need to be able to know which are good and which are bad, because if you start removing the good ones, you're never going to rank where you used to be. And if you don't remove enough of the bad ones, you're never going to get out a penalty. It's a lot of work, and then, how do I say, I have a lot of experience and a lot of proprietary tools that we use here in-house. There are other public tools out there. They all have a subscription amount of varying value. Some tools, the danger with other tools is that some of the tools you can press a button, like show me the bad links, and you click on a button and whoosh, these are the bad ones, and these are toxic, or these are red or flagged, and it's like, ooh, like without manually knowing and looking at them, their equation for what is good and bad is often not true. You know, you can have a link from, let's say, a Cub Scout website on a great trusted page, and that page may show some signals that some tools without a human behind them and only looking at a couple little pieces may say they're bad. They're going to be like, oh, it's a page rank 0. The site only has 20 backlinks to it, and this page has 105 other external links going out to other stuff, and they're like, this is bad as it has no cache or whatever. It's like, no, like this site is all natural. This site has nothing to do with SEO. The backlinks that are going into it are all natural. The other links on this page are all natural. And this page may not rank for any commercial phrases, but it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't rank for any commercial phrases. Like, they're not. This is a total resource page. There's like hobby sites and just really good links that I've seen these tools mark as toxic, and it's like, are you kidding me? And then I've seen them, mark others as fine, and it's like, oh my God, like this is not a fine link. Like, this is part of this other network, or look at all the other paid links in a row under it, or this is a perfect example of like what Google gives when they turn down a manual penalty. Like, it may look good on certain numbers, but they're only, these public tools are only showing little pieces of it, and so there's a lot of work and a lot of knowledge. I would never suggest that like someone that hasn't been working with backlinks for more than 10 years do. They're going to do more harm than good. I've been in the backlink business for more than 16 years, and I've built more backlinks and built more natural backlinks or hand-done backlinks, at least including my company, than anyone else in the world probably. And because of the amount of disavows that we've done, and people that have come to us where they're coming and like, hey, my site's been penalized, can you get us out? I probably removed more backlinks than anyone in the world. And I worry about like the guy who doesn't have the experience or no, like I've seen every kind of link in the world imaginable, well, almost, and as far as different qualities and whatnot, I'm getting at, like I've seen so many SEO tactics and done so many disavows that I've seen every type of backlink method imaginable. And if you haven't and you don't understand, like you could look at something and be like, oh yeah, by looking at these numbers and it's red, this must be bad, and by looking at these numbers and it's green, it must be good. And it's going to cost you. Like, links are the most valuable thing to have to your website, and trusted links are one of the most valuable things to have to your website, and untrusted links are one of the most dangerous things to have to your website. And if you don't do it right, you're literally going to cause more damage. Like, removing good links it's going to lower you forever, and that value and trust is going to be lost to your site. And not removing enough of the bad links is never going to get you out of a penalty. You're going to wait on the next refresh, and you could be waiting months, you could be waiting over a year, you could be waiting forever to get out of this penalty, and you may never get out because you haven't removed enough. Or worse yet, you get out, and it's because you removed enough of the bad stuff, but chances are you removed a whole bunch of the good stuff. And it's like, I see some of these places that sell their services of doing disavows, and they even show some of their clients that they've recovered. They got penalties removed, and they're like, here's 10 different clients. And you go into like SpyFu or SEMrush and you look at the history, and it's like you see, oh yeah, these guys were ranking good, boom, they got hit. And it's like, well, they've never really recovered. There's it never went up. And it's like, but people don't know it. They look on the website and they're like, oh, look at these 10 companies or 20 companies, and they've all got penalties removed. That's great. Well, look at their ranking history. They haven't recovered because everyone's just removing everything. And we're like, well, we'll get it taken care of. So your budget of $50 to $250 is, there's no way. Absolutely, I can't even really think of a shortcut. I mean, you could buy a tool yourself, but you're going to mess it up because you're going to look at greens and reds and go with it, and you're going to mess it up yourself. There's only a few experts in this industry that I would totally trust. But
it is huge work.
It is, and it's something that I do. I tend to do almost all of them personally, and
because there are not so many experts.
Yeah, I mean, I have another guy here who he puts together a lot of the reports for me, and he may do some of the preliminary research, and he's been with me for, I believe, more than 8 years. And for those 8 years, for 4 of it, he was a content marketer, link builder for us, and for the last 4 years, he's been the one who has to approve every single link that we report at Ninjas. And so he's the one that says yay or nay, and he knows what's a good link and what is not a good link, more than any other people at any other company. Like, this has been his life, and even there, I take it to the next level of, how do I say, I almost feel like a Jedi when I do them now. I've seen so much and done others. It's like I'm using the Force. It's like, I know Google doesn't like this, I know, but it's like I know I have done more disavows than anyone in the world, I believe, and I've seen more than anyone on this. But for $50 to $250, you want to get out of penalty, just remove all your backlinks and start from scratch. So you pull all your backlinks from Google, create a disavow, do domain colon all of them, and start fresh. Otherwise, I guess you can try and go through, and if you're 100% sure that it's a really good backlink, keep it and disavow everything else. Because if you don't go deep enough, you're never going to recover. So I guess the first step is you got to dig deep. You got to dig real deep. You have to go into every one of those links, and when in doubt, disavow it out.
That's like a poem.
And at least leave, those that you're 100% sure are good, and disavow everything else. But for my time, you would get 1 minute of my time, and that's not going to be enough to go through this.
Even
So,
Jim can.
and I wouldn't trust going to. There's very few people that I would trust, and with those very few people that I would trust, you're looking at $5,000 to $25,000 to do a real analysis of your backlinks. Sorry. All right, that is it for Crazy Leads.
That's a good one. We need to continue with the leads.
Crazy Leads. Tell us what you think about Crazy Leads. I should be changing shirts. We at least got green. We're matching again. We're wearing DevShed colors. How did we do the last one? What did we call it? Weird leads or something?
Yeah.
Is that what we call it? Weird leads?